This NFL Combine and Bytes Bracket edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your home for the NBA, college basketball, and the XFL. Use the promo code SGP and get up to $1,000 in free bets. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code SGP to play, win, and get paid over at MyBookie. We're also brought to you by Ace Per Head. Ace is the leader in pay per head providers, and they make it super easy to start your own sportsbook. Plus, Ace is offering up to 6 weeks free over at aceperhead.com/SGP. That's aceperhead.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by Roman. If you're struggling with ED, you don't want to wait for treatment. Get effective ED prescriptions without having to visit a doctor. Just go to getroman.com/SGP for a free online visit and free 2-day shipping. That's getroman.com/SGP. Finally, we're brought to you by Monkey Knife Fight. Monkey Knife Fight is the fastest growing daily fantasy site on the planet. And if you use the promo code SGP, you get a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. That's monkeyknifefight.com, promo code SGP. Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, right? Real money, Kramer. What's happening, Kramer dog?
I dusted it off. I have my I think this is a 2017 model of the MyBookie Sports Gambling Podcast. I was gonna cross off March Madness and write Bytes Madness there. Text was too small.
Bracket. Man, we got a ton of stuff to break down on the show. We'll be talking NFL Combine, get some Bytes Bracket. The first game tipped off today over on Twitter at Gambling Podcast. You already have your bracket. The only bracket you can actually vote on the results.
Yeah.
As much as I probably want Villanova to win the NCAA title at 40-1 right now over at MyBookie, I can't physically do anything. I like to believe I can will teams to win in college basketball, especially in the NFL. That's my best psychic ability. However, really, there's nothing I can do. But with the Bytes Bracket, you can actually vote to make a difference. You can stuff the ballot. You can get people, I don't know, retweet it and tell people who to vote for. People are getting fired up.
To be clear, though, if you were interested in altering us, you could talk to someone like Tanya Harding. You could get some guidance on how to.
Oh man, that is a god damn it. All right. That Colby, like in the glory hole, that's definitely going to be on the 2021. And I think Nancy Kerrigan, maybe it's just, again, probably dating ourselves, Ryan, but
probably
I remember where I was in my family station wagon when we listened to the radio broadcast about Tanya Harding getting whacked. They didn't know who it was at the time. Again, it was very obvious who it was. The one person who benefits from Nancy Kerrigan getting the shit beat out of her.
It shows you how far we've come as a people. That was a good old fashioned caper back in the 90s.
Yeah, had to do a little sleuthing.
That would have been 5 minutes of Twitter investigation. Bam. Oh,
yeah. They would have had Jeff Gillooly's like hinged profile, or his Plenty of Fish dating profile would be up. But yeah, I just remember listening to the audio because they were running. They had cameras there. They had audio there, and they were recording. And just Nancy Kerrigan just going, "Why? It might. It's ingrained in my head. I think it has potential to be a good drop."
Yeah, you mentioned that you remember where you were when that happened. Sadly, I also do, and it's one of the few moments from like my childhood that wasn't a sports thing that I remember. Like OJ driving around during the Knicks, I remember that.
Now, where were you on that one? Because I vividly
in my basement watching the freaking finals. That was the ultimate Kramer FML opportunity right there. The Knicks finally get there.
Finally get in.
Finally get there. And had you told a 12-year-old Ryan Kramer, this is the greatest you'll see. This is the last time the Knicks will one day
an Asian guy will come in and do all right.
Oh my God.
But for the most part, it'll just be disappointment after disappointment.
But anyway, I was telling this long story to say that it's almost embarrassing to admit this, but one of the other like things I vividly remember where I was when I heard about this was the Lorena Bobbitt thing. I was listening to the Z Morning Zoo on Z100, and they broke the news like it was like it was some bad
guy's
SNL
dick
skit.
has got cut off.
They had sound effects and shit, and it was just like. Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't know why Tanya Harding made me think of that, but
no, but real quick on the OJ Knicks one, I remember I was actually watching. I was watching the Knicks game at our place in Colorado. This was before I moved back to Pennsylvania, and my dad was actually on the roof roofing our house.
Oh, this is hilarious.
And I came out and I'm like, Dad, OJ's on the run, and he's like, what? And then I kind of was yelling up to my dad, they think he murdered Nicole, and he's like, all right, makes sense. And then he just goes, get me a beer. And then I had to climb up the 2-story ladder to give my dad a beer, who was up there just hammering away on some shingles.
That was parenting back when we were.
Yeah,
kids.
exactly.
That's why we're not soft. We had to climb. You know what? You know what would happen?
And we had to do it both ways in the snow, each way around.
Both ways. But if God forbid, I told my kids to bring me a beer up on the ladder. Well, they would be like, well, should I climb the ladder? Is it safe? Is that something I should be doing? Are you sure?
I never remember asking my parents if it was safe. I would just always do stuff and then be told later, what the fuck are you doing? So that's not safe.
Let's talk about this real quick, Sean, because I've had some debate with people and coming from the home market of the New York Knicks, I can't imagine they just chose to do this here, but they cut away for the game. We missed a large.
No, that was a national thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I was arguing with someone who said, no, they showed it like picture in picture. And
well,
they
did.
No.
They did split screen for a little bit.
But they absolutely cut away from the finals. The OJ driving around like an asshole.
Yeah,
or
I mean,
riding
basketball
around
was like we were just 10 years removed from basketball being on tape delay.
That's true
for the finals. So
still, as a Knicks fan, last great moment in my
come
fandom.
on, dude, Linsanity.
Well, that was I've already admitted to being I mean, I got laughed at about this, but the greatest moment, or at least. Yeah, the greatest moment in the last 20 years, Jeremy Lin, hands down.
Melo won. They won one.
The fact that the next
series
person I'm thinking about is maybe Allen Houston is the problem.
Melo had some fun games in there.
Listen, I have a T-shirt jersey of Carmelo Anthony. I was always
one day you'll get the full jersey.
I was always a sympathist. Well, that's a whole nother kind. Do you own any basketball jerseys?
Jerseys.
Exactly. You don't got enough to work with there. Throwing up.
Dude, come on. Look at that. Go to youtube.com sports gambling podcast.
Ooh, this is the first time.
All right.
This is the first time.
And this brings us to our next rant. These fuckers at Gold's Gym, Glendale Galleria. Again, I love.
For the record, you spoke very highly of this organization in the past.
Let me do the MyBookie read. MyBookie, unlike some companies I've had to deal with over the years, MyBookie.ag, great customer service. If you got an issue, just tweet them. Even hit us up. We'll help you get any sort of issue solved. But there's not going to be many because MyBookie, they take care of you. Highly recommend deposit and withdrawal using cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, easiest, fastest way to get paid. And if you use our promo code SGP, get that sweet deposit bonus. They got some NFL combine bets, XFL, of course, NBA, college basketball. We're giving away picks and picks. We finally got NC Nick, aka Colby's brother. I think he went like 6 for 6 on ACC college basketball picks, completely free. And use that bonus code SGP over at mybookie.ag to play, win, and get paid. It's flexing the guns. Gold's really like the gym. It's clean, unlike 24-hour fitness where it's a borderline war zone with just people shitting everywhere and
taking the heads off the shower.
Yeah, like just random insane stuff,
spraying like poisonous eucalyptus stuff in the sauna.
I'm pro eucalyptus. Guys,
really, as a guy with an inhaler, like that stuff makes me feel like I'm in some sort of concentration camp.
Well, that's probably a bit exaggeration, Ryan, and possibly
I have to leave the room. I can't sit down when that's happening. I'm dying.
Eucalyptus is, I mean, again, maybe it's some witchcraft, but eucalyptus is designed to help you breathe. I use it. It helps open up my.
Not these lungs.
Well, Ryan, you put a lot of other plants in your lungs, so maybe that's throwing off the eucalyptus. But to get back to Gold's Gym, I'm there.
Sorry.
I crack open my pre-workout. I'm ready to start again. Big pre-workout guy.
Imagine you trying to explain to your dad 20 years ago what pre-workout is.
Well, and also my dad's addicted to hot yoga, so he should talk. It's got the BCAAs. Ryan, you're not a fitness buff like myself, aka branched chain amino acids. Again, about to get ripped to shit. I'm on the elliptical, about to fire off, do a hard cardio, and then I go to the e-gym for my like legit ripping muscles. And everyone starts walking out of the Gold's gym, and I'm looking at it. And I go, like, what the hell's going on? This is very. What are you doing over here, Ryan? Oh, because I called you out. You got to just take a swig of Jameson.
I'm just to get through this story. I figured neither of us has the coronavirus. We're safe to bottle swap.
All right, I'll speed things up, Ryan. Everyone leaves out of the Gold's gym. No one had said anything to me. I realized something's going on. I go to the guys. I'm like, "What's going on?" They go, there's an electrical issue. The Galleria says we have to leave. So the mall apparently told them that they had.
The mall cops show up.
No, the mall cop showed up. Then the real cop showed up with the canine units, and they're in there for like over an hour. And my car keys are in there, so I can't leave and come back to the gym later. I tried talking to the security guy, try strong arming him, nothing. And it's there's no way. They claim it was an electrical issue. No way you bring in canine dogs for an electrical issue. I don't like being lied to. They tried to win us over by giving us free pre-workout when they finally let us back into the gym. But meanwhile, I drank my entire pre-workout. So I'm just ramped off of branched chain amino acids, guarine, taurine, caffeine, and
all the stomach acids.
I want to run through a wall, but I'm just sitting here outside of PF Chang's watching people eat and killing time. And then I just slacked you a bunch and was trying to knock out some business, but it was driving me crazy. And then I finally went in there and just fucking tore a new asshole in that e-gym. All right.
What better way to calm down a bunch of dudes trying to get their swole on by giving them some pre-workout?
All the Gold's employees, they were loving it because they're getting paid and now they just sit in the mall and don't have to do anything. And I was trying to much like.
So what happens? They wanted to illegally search a locker.
I guess I think it was someone called in a bomb threat. That was my idea. Or well,
the fuck's trying to blow up a gym filled with dudes drinking pre-workout and getting their swole on.
Yeah, well, what else? I mean, maybe, but
it's got to be drugs, dude.
But if it was drugs, they would just arrest the dude. Why clear the whole thing out to find the locker?
That's a bomb threat.
Yeah, right.
Who's making a bomb threat on a gym?
Someone.
Serious
probably a guy whose wife is fucking the personal trainer. They find out about it. They call Golds and says, "I'm gonna blow this place up if you don't stop having sex with my wife." If that's just a guess, rampant speculation. You know who did a ton of training? That Wilder Fury fight was actually pretty badass, and I mean, you know, Wilder just got the shit beat out of him. But Fury, there were some great stories. One, his training regimen, where he would just jerk off 7 times a day.
All right, we need to discuss this
in order to trigger his body to generate more testosterone. Which you get, I feel like
so outside the box.
I feel like
conventional wisdom is you want to save that shit up.
Yeah,
but he's like, no, I want the conveyor belt going top speed.
His logic makes sense, but I don't think the human body works like that at all. Because I would have been destroying people in high school.
You certainly would have been
some
first
parts
team
of college.
You certainly would have been tight.
Yeah, I would have been on third team alternate if 7 times a day. That thing's got to be sore.
Well, first of all, you got to remember when you're young. Basically everything heals like Spider-Man or Wolverine. So I don't know. I mean, there were definitely some days where, yeah, I stayed home sick from school, and you know, I wouldn't say I could consistently achieve that world-class mark that Tyson Fury was living. Yeah. But he's a grown man on tons, and he's a gypsy. Like, yeah, there's also that, like, his dick could be calloused up like a lumberjack's
well, and also
hands.
I mean, being a gypsy, someone could have put some gypsy curse on his family and his penis. He has an interesting story. He was born premature. He was born this like super tiny baby, and you were talking about it before the podcast that he comes from this like legendary fighting gypsy clan, and his dad was like, this guy's gonna be the greatest fighter of all time. He named him after Mike Tyson, saying like, hey, he's gonna be 7 feet tall and jacked as shit and be the heavyweight champion of the world. He didn't get 7 feet, but he did come out to be the heavyweight champion of the world, which is pretty awesome.
And it's also, it just kind of shows you like just to be a little bit athletic at that height makes you world class at a sport like boxing. Imagine one of these NBA players if they had just picked up boxing gloves instead of a basketball.
Well, I mean, the greatest one is
Shaq.
LeBron.
Oh.
Well, Shaq. I mean, Shaq,
imagine if Shaq's a heavyweight, a big athletic, 7'1", 320 pound.
I mean,
dude.
George Foreman, when the last time he won, he was big, man. I mean, Butterbean was like a legit.
I feel like I would take
Butterbean was 425 pounds. Imagine if he was, and he was at 5'11". Imagine if he was Shaq's height and size.
just the reach, right? Like that.
But
That's
how would you ever even connect with Shaq? Like, how would you actually to actually land a punch with Shaq? He could just like big brother him or just stiff arm him, and you would never be able to connect with Shaq. That's insane. That Shaq. I mean, I get it. You're a giant
Tyson
dude.
Fury
You're just gonna play
versus
basketball.
Shaq today. Is Tyson Fury minus 300?
Yeah, I think. But
Minus
if Shaq was,
1,000?
if Shaq like that one year where he kind of got in shape, I mean, you may put him up against anyone. LeBron would be good just because he is such a freak athlete, no heart. So that and I think I seriously question Shaq's heart at times too, because that guy again. I think Shaq and LeBron at times it came too easy for them, and I mean,
It's true.
what you would really need is a guy like Kobe, the heart of Kobe in the body of like a LeBron to really create the all-time super fighter. You were when we were talking about Tyson earlier pre-show, you were making the case that Tyson nowadays with social media and everything going on, it would be a complete disaster.
Well,
I think it could go two ways.
I guess disaster maybe would it have existed long enough to become a thing? I think it's the same hypothetical with Michael Jordan, right? Like Michael Jordan today. I don't know how that goes down. Certainly the public opinion after he got his father killed for gambling, that wouldn't have been
Allegedly,
cool.
right?
We would have discovered the truth. But just everything else, he was an ass. Like how many athletes are now successful today who are just giant assholes? Fighters are the one space where that could work, and maybe that's where I'm off on Tyson.
And I think the NBA does a pretty good job of protecting their superstars, and to the point that I think, Michael does whatever he would have done, he would have gotten away with. I think he still would have gotten away with a decent amount.
I don't think you can run up $5 million in debt gambling on a golf course, and that would have just gone like that's the stuff that would have started piling up.
It definitely would have hurt his endorsements, like the Mike thing. He wouldn't have been seen as this global icon, maybe, but the dude was so fucking good. I think even nowadays we would make somewhat of an exception, and I even think with Tyson we might be in a similar zone where I think you could make a case that the social media that goes on around Tyson would have made him into a bigger legend. Like those clips of him talking about how he's going to murder you and eat your children. I think, could you imagine if that was on Instagram or on Twitter? We would be retweeting that #Degens only. Like he would have, I mean, I think if he came around right now,
#Degens only,
we would have been all over Mike Tyson still. And those knockout things, like no,
you're right.
Your entire feed would just be knockout clips of Tyson.
Well, and the style of his fighting was perfect for today's generation. His fights all lasted
highly
in a
entertaining.
15-second
Yeah, you
clip.
could put most of his highlights on a Vine, and nobody would know.
Which, by the way, Sean, quick sidebar before we get into real stuff. I tried to go down the path of understanding. One of my little ones really into TikTok, so I'm like, I gotta understand this.
That's what the kids are on.
No. Spent 3 hours watching TikTok videos. No idea what's going on. No clue. Just figured out Instagram, Sean.
Just got on Instagram. Head over to Instagram.com/Kramercentric to check out Ryan Kramer. Ryan, you can't be a Twitter screenshot guy. Come on. If you're only going to do 6 posts, you can't.
Well, did you see what I was calling out there, Sean?
Roughneck fever.
Roughneck fever, patient zero, right here.
Patient zero. Perfect transition, Ryan. We're talking about Roman. That's right, Roman. It is a, world-class health treatment. Again, this is interesting about Roman. They threw this stat out. If you had to guess, how many days do you have to wait to see a doctor in America? What the average wait time is?
I've been waiting like probably 13 months.
29 days to see a doctor. That's in major U.S. cities. I've had to deal with that before to see a doctor. It's a nightmare. And again, if you're going in, listen, you're statistically 96% chance you're a guy listening to this podcast. And there's some cool ass chicks, but GetRoman.com/SGP. If you got an erectile dysfunction issue, I luckily the pipe is working right now. I used my erection on Sunday. It was amazing. Having erections, using the erection, and cashing bets. Those are my 2 favorite things. Having sex with my wife and cashing bets. And if you don't have an ability to get an erection, it's a bummer. You're missing out. I mean, there probably was a time when you could get an erection, something happened, there's a health issue, and nothing wrong about it. But seriously, do yourself a favor, get your erection back. And you don't want to go to a doctor because honestly, you got to deal with the wait time. You got to schedule an appointment. It's a huge pain in the ass, honestly. Wouldn't you rather just do it online? That's the great thing about online is knock it out online. They also, it's not just erectile dysfunction. Roman, they do a lot. Hair loss, premature ejaculations, cold sores, genital herpes. Do you really want to go into a doctor's office and and have that conversation? No, come on. This is why they invented Skype. You Skype in with the doctor. They get you set up. They take a look, and yeah, I mean, telemedicine is really getting super convenient. All you got to do, hop on your phone, computer, complete a free online visit. You'll hear back from a U.S. licensed physician within 24 hours. And then if a prescription right for you, Roman's Pharmacy can ship your medication to you with free 2-day shipping. Ken, you're not getting ripped off. Free 2-day shipping. Get your boner back in order, or whatever other kind of embarrassing health issues that you'd rather just take care of online, honestly. And there's no reason to be embarrassed. Really, I mean, why am I selling you? If the erection's not working right now, do yourself a favor and do us a favor by, of course, using our sign-up code, GetRoman.com/SGP for a free online visit and 2-day shipping.
Sean, in the Little League World Series, every kid has like their favorite thing, favorite pastime, favorite. Yours is using his erection.
I mean, come on, is it?
I think we might have another potential bubble team for the 2021
using
Bytes
my
Bracket.
erection. Well, there's one thing to have one, that's cool, but really putting it to use is really where they're the most fun.
I see a lot of young fellows with these flashy erections, but they don't know how to use it. You know what I mean?
They don't.
I don't. That's maybe a drop too. I didn't know where I was going there. Flashy cars turned into flashy erections. Perfect transition to the NFL Combine, because there is a rumor out there that small hands equal small erections. And as a guy with small hands, Ryan, you mock me, you ridicule me a lot for my small hands. My cock is not gigantic, but at the very least serviceable. It's a very great cock. But what I'm getting at is brought
Joe
to you
Burrow.
By GetRoman.com.
a little better when I get the Get Roman going. Joe Burrow coming out as #Team Small Hands. He only measured a 9-inch hand. Everyone was giving him shit. He leans into it. He leans into small hand life. He tweets out, considering retirement after I was informed the football will be slipping out of my tiny hands. Please keep me in your thoughts. Love that. I mean, I love. He's got a sense of humor.
He's got moxie. That's what you want. This dude's like, oh yeah, you know what's great about small hands? Makes my dick look bigger. Bam.
It's all about perspective. Hey,
can we get like what does that compare to? Give me another hand measurement.
Yeah, I'll look up some combine hand measurements, but of all the things to care about in the NFL, you kind of either.
Well, Russell Wilson 10 and a quarter. Jesus Christ, that's a mess. So the measurement they're taking is thumb to pinky. This is the measurement that Javon Curse famously was able to hold the ruler between his thumb and. So, Jesus,
It's the opposite of the K metric because Josh Allen 10.125.
Wow, that's one
hand size.
Russell Wilson has bigger hands than all those motherfuckers. That's crazy.
Cody Kessler 10 and a quarter. Dak Prescott, Dakota Rain Prescott, almost pushing 11 inches at 10 and 7/8.
Jesus Christ, huge cock.
Carson Wentz, solid 10 inches. But I don't think there's.
But he knows how to use those.
Jared Goff, he's a Super Bowl quarterback, and his are only 9 inches. That's probably not
a good comp.
Here's the comp you want.
Is Joe Burrow the next Jared Goff?
Here's the comp you want. Patty Mahomes 9 and a quarter. So he's right, and Jimmy G. So both quarterbacks 9 inches 0.25.
Are you at all worried? I mean, if you're a Joe Burrow guy, are you at all worried that he was completely off the radar going into this year, as far as an NFL prospect?
Oh, you mean
that always concerns me a little bit because I mean, Carson Wentz would be a decent example of someone who wasn't on the radar as the number 2 pick, but was on the radar because it was this dude from North Dakota State who had these crazy measurables.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas Joe Burrow, he wasn't on the radar as a top flight NFL prospect. So I worry a little bit.
Yeah. I mean,
4.81. That's the 40 over under. I don't know if you saw that.
4.81.
I believe.
Oh, for Burrow. I would say what would like if you were team Joe Burrow, what you would like is the fact that he started 28 games in the SEC, 10 in the Big Ten. But I think that is. I mean, it's even scarier when it's just a 1-year starter that comes out of nowhere. But the fact that he did start.
What I like about him is the way he carries himself. That's the number one thing I like about him.
He's got that QB swag.
But he also was on a team that was insanely loaded. That's a good argument. But then the counter to that, Sean, is that he set all the records.
Yeah. And I mean, and maybe it's just was a 1-year fluke, but like you look at the guys, the throws he made, the ball placement was amazing. But I mean, sometimes you watch those Alabama games and it's just the dudes are wide open. It's clear they're just dominating. But I think he really made some throws into tight windows, and that's why I was even early on. I think we were both on the same page. Like this guy is probably better than Tua, even though Tua had all these great stats. And
I don't know if I might be. I think Tua, the injury stuff worries me, but he might have a higher ceiling. Sean, speaking of first round,
but are we really ever going to know his ceiling as a member of the Cincinnati Bengals?
Perhaps, maybe. Sean, speaking of first round quarterbacks, did you see this the picture I tweeted out Sunday or Saturday morning? Waking up, enjoying, reading through some stuff, doing a little work for the old SGP, and I turn on the TV and it goes right to the Cornhole Championships where Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones are participating in a cornhole. It just, I mean, come on. What are you guys up to? Like, what are you doing? Didn't you know this was going to be televised? They were actually pretty good at cornhole, but anyway, I digress.
Shouldn't Daniel Jones be supporting his fellow New York football team, the Guardians? They need it. They need some help from their Darnold and Jones.
I did the math. The Roughnecks are laying 3 on a neutral field versus the New York Giants.
Well, we were someone tweeted this question. That what would you set the line between Alabama and the Roughnecks? I actually said Alabama -3, just because they've played with each other for a really long time, and I think the issue with the Roughnecks, and I'm on the Roughnecks as well. PJ Walker was my Week 1 DFS play at 7,800, still the steal of the century in XFL DFS, but
not Tariq Cohen, but close.
No, not. The Roughnecks defense has some legit questions, and I think you bring in that Alabama offensive line. I think they could really move the ball and them running the ball.
I mean, the Roughnecks have to be favored. Period. They have Cam Phillips. They have PJ. I mean, they're unstoppable at this point.
PJ Walker is legitimately. It's interesting, and that's what's fun about the combine. These guys just fall through the cracks. It's crazy.
Cam Phillips, it's just a disgrace. The Bills didn't hold on to him. I mean, he's a receiver that can catch the football, run good routes. That's what I called out. Somehow he's in the XFL. Sean,
how's the slot?
What I wanted to ask you before we get back to the combine, what player in the XFL do you think is the most certain player you're going to see on an NFL roster contributing this fall?
Well, I guess I would just still say, even though it is the quarterback position, PJ Walker does seem. I mean, especially with the way the game's going, with guys running around, I wouldn't even. I'm going to throw his name out there. It's blasphemy to compare him to that, but watching him reminded me of the electric nature of Michael Vick. Now, clearly, he doesn't have that level of athleticism, but the way he scrambled in the pocket and the way he threw the ball downfield, the chemistry. What's really crazy is this chemistry he clearly has with Cam Phillips after no real training camp or preseason. And I mean, if those two guys stay healthy,
you know why there's chemistry? Because like Ryan Real Money Kramer told you, Cam Phillips runs good routes.
That's all you need.
PJ Walker can trust that he's going to be where he needs to be, and that's all it is. So I think that whole team. I think there's the air raid. The fact that the air raid hasn't failed yet in this iteration in the NFL. I think you're going to see people okay with just being like, "Hey, that guy. Imagine what he can do with a full off season." I mean, if you're what teams for sure would be like, "Oh yeah, we'll at least take a look."
Why would you not draft that? I mean, bring that guy into camp. And I mean, I don't know.
Could be a Russell Wilson situation. Right?
I don't know. I mean, especially if it's kind of an open competition, or let's say you're the Chargers. If you're the Chargers, don't you sign a guy like that has some sort of heat?
Superchargers charge.
Play that again, Sean. I think someone cut that up.
San Diego Superchargers charge.
I wouldn't ever put that on our audience to be the Chargers. That's got to be tough because I wouldn't want to pretend to be the Chargers. Just not somewhere I want to be. But I mean, Tyrod's there to mentor him. That would be a great spot. Sean.
It would be. All right,
another
Kramer,
VT alum.
Let's. There's some fun combine props. It's worth knocking on a couple of these. Odds to run the fastest 40-yard dash. Henry Ruggs the third. Everyone's saying he's a speedster. There's also prop bets here over on my bookie too. Will anyone will they break John Ross's 40-yard dash record? 4.22. No, minus 1,000. Yes, plus 550. They're talking about Ruggs running a 4.2.
4.2 is like insane world-class speed. It just seems unlikely. John Ross, a world-class sprinter. I don't like taking the yes side of this at the plus 550. I'll tell you what I do like. I like going over for CeeDee Lamb. I like going or slower, whatever the terminology would be. I think CeeDee Lamb's going to run a slow 40 time and freak people out, and he's going to drop, and we're going to look at him in 3 years and be like, wow, how was he a late first round pick?
Do you think CeeDee Lamb is going to run a slow 40?
I think it's going to run a slow 40, and it's going to create this situation where people are like, oh, I don't know. Whereas when you watch him play, you're like, holy crap.
And CeeDee Lamb, he's 35-1 to run the fastest 40-yard dash.
No, do not bet that for sure. I think he's going to run a slow time.
But isn't Henry Ruggs at 4-1? The Alabama speedster, isn't that a safe bet at plus 400? I haven't really heard any of these other guys kind of in the mix.
I don't know.
KJ Hamler is 7-1 out of Penn State. Noah Agbanani, Auburn 9-1.
A lot of vowels.
Damon Arnett, Ohio State 15-1. Devin Duvernay, Texas 15-1. Jeff Thomas, Miami 16-1. I'm going Henry Ruggs plus 400. That feels. I mean, they're talking about him having a 4.2. So, I would actually, just for the excitement factor, I would take yes plus 550 on John Ross. Record being broken at 4.22.
No, stop it, Sean.
What? Come on. You're betting against someone breaking a record, Ryan?
He's not going to do it.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's plus 550. It's very fun. What are some of these other? So you think CD Lamb's going to run a slow one? So his over under right now is set at 4.5 or 4.4 seconds. So you're saying slower at minus 120. That seems like decent.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll get in on that with you. Joe Burrow 4.81. Where are you at with Joe Burrow? I've never really seen him have any sort of legit speed. I don't think he did any sort of training for this.
Well, 4.81 isn't that fast.
No, but I think some of the guys that have good 40 times. I mean, maybe look up some other QB 40 times.
All right. I'm changing my opinion on this because I've watched Daniel Jones scramble and he's much faster than Joe Burrow. Would you agree with that?
Yeah,
he ran a 4.82.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think I think over 4.81 is the lock of the century.
Now I know Daniel Jones shows up nicer on some of those quickness drills, but he's not. He's clearly more athletic than Joe Burrow, right? Am I missing something here? I think we might have stumbled across a lock.
Yeah, because I mean Joe Burrow runs a little bit, but I mean, what was his even? I don't even think like he had a
Andrew Luck 4.67.
That's surprising. I mean, well,
all right. Let's look at Jared Goff. His ultimate comp. We got to start. This is the new Jared Goff sucks island. Is Joe Burrow headed to that island?
I guess.
Sean, I'm ready to jump on the Joe Burrow bus train. So just you.
I'm not
Jared
jumping on
Goff, 4.82 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's probably what they're basing it off.
Wait, so Jared Goff and Daniel Jones have that? I'm very confused right now. Jared Goff
40 times weird too. Like, cause you can look fast and I don't know. It's kind of deceptive. I didn't realize Burrow ran that much. He had 115 carries, 368 yards.
He definitely was he's a good in-game runner. I just don't think he's a. But
I guess I just don't remember him ever really kind of having like any sort of like breakout runs. I don't know. Maybe it's all running together the college season, but I love the over there at 4.81. Lock that one up. Did some of these
Jameis Winston 4.97.
Who knows what the hell is going on with that guy? I'm seeing this one's a fun one. Over under most bench press reps. What would you guess, Kramer?
Of course, you're going there.
Yeah, because I'm lifting.
Most bench press reps. Typically the guy who like someone always gets around like between 40 and 50, right? So I'm gonna say, is there a number? Is there an over under?
There's an over under for most bench.
All right, so let me guess reps. It. Don't tell me what it is.
I'm guessing. The way I'm reading this, I'm reading it as someone in the combine who has the most bench press reps because this number seems crazy.
All right, I'll say 40 and a half.
36 and a half.
36 and a half.
Over, baby. Are you kidding me?
I know that offensive linemen are focusing more on agility and speed and not mauling
like that 3-cone drill that Belichick likes. But okay, so 51 reps is the record. Justin Ernest, 1991. 49 reps, Stephen Paea, 2011. 45 reps, 3 different guys got it. 44 reps, 3 different people have over the years.
Last year?
So I'm seeing 2018, Harrison Phillips had 42 reps. And I'm not seeing 2019 on here. So maybe
36, Dexter Lawrence.
But come on.
So one data point is going to skew us.
42?
I mean, dudes are going to be jacked up for that day.
I don't know. Again, it's just one of those bets. Like, how could you go under? Well, my bookie, I'm seeing, yeah.
What do they got?
I looked at there was another place that had it, or just this article on USA
Another
Today.
Place.
Well, the article on USA Today had 36 and a half. My bookie has it at 38 and a half, but they have the juice a little squiggly. They have more than 38 and a half at minus 150. So that's probably truer, more accurate odds. Less than 38 and a half plus 110. I'm still going over, but at minus 150, maybe
what would you do at my line of 40 and a half? Because let's adjust that minus 150 and just call it a cool 40 and a half. Are you still taking over?
I'll go under. I think it's like high 30s. So I'm saying 39, 40, 41. Then things start getting
fucking. Are you a man? Like, get 40 up. Be a man.
Act like a man.
A friend of ours, Sean, friend of the program, Matt Sullivan.
Yes.
His younger brother put up a crap load, like 40 something, which is crazy considering that you're telling me no player in the NFL combine is putting up 40. I'm going way over on this. Now that I'm thinking about it, someone's putting up 40, Sean. I'm parlaying this with Joe Burrow to run a slower than 4.1 or 4.81 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I think the two locks for me in the combine are over on a Burrow 40 time and Henry Ruggs fastest 40 time at plus 400. One more fun one, Rich Eisen. There's a couple different prop bets on Rich Eisen. Let's see. Okay, so his over under 40 time is set at 6.01 seconds. Could you beat that, Ryan? That's the real prop bet.
Yeah.
You think you could?
It's not a question. All right. So at some point in the next couple of months, we're going to a field. I'm going to kick.
You always talk about this,
I'm kicking,
Ryan, but you never,
kicking the field goal, and
you
we're
never
going to
come through with it.
I mean, you're welcome to participate.
Rich Eisen. All right, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. I could run a sub 6 second 40. That's embarrassingly
Eisen,
slow.
Has a picture of his fastest time, 5.94 seconds. A little history on his runs. 2018, 5.97. Let's see. 2017, 6.02. 2016, 5.94. 2015, 6.1. I'm guessing he's doing a little bit of training, so I'll go under 6 seconds. Rich Eisen.
Over.
You're going over.
Over.
Wow.
Yeah, he's getting old. He's getting old, dude.
You don't think Rich has one more run in him?
No.
All right. There was also a they have a little prop bet. Odds Rich Eisen falls during the run, 75-1. Are you kidding me?
Yes, please.
Oh, 75-1. Someone trips on their 40 yard.
Are we not familiar of the turf monster?
Yeah, that's 75-1. He's in a suit. That's the other thing, Ryan. You have to run it in a suit. You can wear cleats like Rich Eisen. You're going to be outdoors. That could affect wind resistance.
Have you not worn a suit recently, Sean? The material I
have
next gen.
But there's something with the uncomfortableness of running in a suit.
Nah, dude, I'm good. Tear a groin, but I'm good.
Tear a groin. Maybe you can talk to Roman about that. Oh, you want to take crazy bets like on the combine? March Madness right around the corner. You need to get started. You need to start your own sports book, and you can do it over at aceperhead.com. But Sean, I'm just a degenerate sports gambler. I don't know anything about starting my own sports books, setting up a website. Don't worry. All I got to do, head over to aceperhead.com/SGP. They get you set up. Plus, Ace offers live betting. Amazing mobile experience. I've seen it in action. It's it's really top-notch sportsbook software. Customer support going 24/7. Some of the sharpest lines in the industry. Again, it's turnkey. You sign up, you get an all-inclusive professional betting website. All the lines provided up to second, wagers graded immediately. It's just that easy. All you got to do is head over to aceperhead.com/SGP. Use our link and you can get up to 6 weeks free. That's aceperhead.com/SGP.
Sean.
Yes.
Enough with this fake NFL.
Hashtag Legends Only.
This fake NFL workout sport. Let's talk about the real sport.
Of course, you're talking about Bytes Bracket here on SGPN. The only bracket you can fill out in February. Hashtag Legends Only. Let's take a look at the first game. Tip it off earlier today between the #1 seed. Get your shine box.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Squaring off against. It's getting a little crazy here. Squaring off.
Too much music.
Against the Masters theme song. As of tape time right now, the Masters theme music getting their shit pushed in, only receiving 19.1% of the vote. Get your Shinebox with a commanding lead at 80.9%. Nothing shocking here. Some people are even calling out the fact that they're surprised Masters theme music has gotten this many votes when going up against a dominant blue bud like Get Your Shinebox.
Sean, I definitely wonder who's voting for them, but at the same time, I think they came out hot. They hit a couple threes. Then maybe they took a 4-point lead. Things stabilized, and now Shinebox off to a command. I mean, it's over, right?
It is. It's over. This is only running for 24 hours. Maybe you wake up. Maybe you're hearing this late night West Coast, early East Coast. You still maybe have a chance to get in a couple votes here over on the old Twitter @Gambling Podcast. But it seems like it's a done deal for Masters theme music, and I feel good as the committee. We slotted a dominant 1 seed in. It's taking care of business against the 16 seed. Yeah, I mean, I'm not shocked. I'm almost surprised that it got this many votes, to be honest.
Well, I think people are excited to participate in a actual tournament. Sean, just like college football and Dr. Pepper, we've also unlocked the great value of a playoff. We've figured it out.
Yeah, exactly. And kudos to Will Mormon, a new writer on the show. Make sure you give him a follow on Twitter as I pull up his Twitter feed here. But he did a little round 1 preview, and he even did some spreads. This is pretty good. He had Masters theme versus Shinebox. He had Shinebox as a 74% favorite.
Wow.
So pretty dang good.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's 61% right now. I think the fact that Masters theme music is even getting 19% of the vote, I think is shocking some of the people. He predicted, so he set the spread at -74%, but then predicted Shinebox would get 87%
and cover.
So it doesn't look like, unfortunately, Shinebox.
Well, we have a lot of time.
There still is time, but it doesn't look as of now that Shinebox will be getting the cover. Why don't we take a look over into the West region, aka the Joe Buck region? Right now, you have Nerd, the Homer Simpson sound drop, squaring off against.
That is a disgusting act.
He's saying that Nerd has a better chance to survive between him and Masters theme music. He's predicting. Well, he has the spread set at -38% for that is a disgusting act. However, he has disgusting act winning 69% to 31%. That's his prediction. So he doesn't. He has it right.
Sean,
the guy made it a push.
Yeah,
I just did the math there, which is hilarious. 2 makeup numbers. Come on, just. Oh man, that's pretty funny that he did it as a push.
Straight push. I do think this speaks to the fact that disgusting act is not going to be a runaway train because of the fact that it's just a utility. It's a number 1 seed and it's just not a sexy one. And they might not cover some spreads, but I think they're just going to keep chugging along, Sean. I do. I worry about that, which is why when I look at the futures, which he also included some futures, disgusting act at 10-1 felt a little bit like a nice value play.
That is a disgusting act.
Well, it feels like a bit of shots fired because he's calling out a number 1 seed, saying it's only 10-1. I feel like you're kind of insulting the committee a little bit there,
just to
possibly believing it's misseeded. Go over some of the props he has there
in the Bytes Bracket Championship futures odds. The Baby Effin' Whale and Long Cox both 2 seeds coming in at plus 300. Gusgasm plus 350. Madden penetration plus 400. Degens only plus 400. Wow. That there are some serious questions being asked of the committee in these futures.
They're a 10 seed, aren't they?
Yeah.
How do you have a 10 seed at plus 400?
Well, clearly he's saying that maybe
and maybe he's not wrong because the people identify way too much with the hashtag Degens only.
Shinebox plus 500. Oh my God, plus 600. Sean, that is a disgusting act. Plus 1,000. I want a dick rubbed on me tonight. Just did a live rendition for you right there. 12-1. Mr. Jones 12-1. I can delete that right now. 15-1. And I'll finish on this one. Shakira Sound plus 1,500. And that's a 13 seed.
I see why. It's really that.
I should have gone one more because Justin Decker in the next 2 slots with All In on Trump and San Diego Superchargers 16 and 18-1.
Yeah, it is.
So if you're taking
so much fun,
gun to your head, you're taking a long shot. To me, Kramer, what the fuck at 20-1 is it's disrespectful. It's just disrespectful. There's no way that should be a 20-1 dog. Period.
Yeah.
That almost makes me think.
And Sam Bradford 30-1. Come on, no one's gonna rally around Sam Bradford sucking. I didn't even have it moving on in my bracket, but still, come on, it's Sam Bradford. It's so fun.
Sean, let's go over our brackets, shouldn't we?
Yeah, sure.
We should
pull
real quick. We don't have to go. We can rapid fire.
Yeah, why don't we just do the first round? We don't want to influence the voting too much.
All right, so I have Shinebox advance. No surprise there. Sean, you also I assume have Shinebox. Do you have your bracket in front of you?
Yes.
Sean?
Sorry, give me 2 seconds to pull it up. I was trying to track down a couple of things here. So yes, I have Shinebox moving on, beating the Masters theme music. That's pretty easy.
So Sean, how will we roll these matchups out? Every day there will be a new matchup.
Every day, new matchup.
We're gonna knock out the 1 and 2 versus 15 and 16s first, and kind of work our way down from there.
I say we alternate. So we just did the Jason Garrett 1 and 16.
So we do a good matchup next.
No, now we go to the 1 and 16 in the Joe Buck region.
Okay.
Then we come back to the 215, then the 215. That seems like the easiest way to do it.
Sounds good, my Sherpa. I can delete that. Clearly, that's advancing over Mr. Jones, right?
I actually have Mr. Jones moving on from. I can delete that right here for you.
All right, Madden penetration. The next matchup against Classic Lock. I assume we both have Madden penetration advancing.
Yeah.
Hot versus Glory Hole. This is of course the classic Glory Hole Jerry Jones drop,
not the new,
the newly minted Colby Dant. I forget what he said, but definitely that's going to be around. Did you load it up on the board yet?
No, I didn't. The board's filled because I have every one of our sound bites.
I have hot advancing, of course.
Yeah, I'm also all over hot.
All in on Trump advancing over Showtime Mahomes. Unfortunately,
both fun, but
to me that's a tight
all in
matchup.
on Trump.
People like Bill Burr.
Yeah, they do, but I think
will Bill Burr campaign for himself in the Bytes bracket?
I would say most certainly not.
Showtime Mahomes.
Gusgasm advancing over Boat Trip.
That I could see some.
Are you worried about that one?
I also went Gusgasm. Excuse me, but I believe Boat Trip. We've had a lot of fun memories. I've done a lot of fun reads. People associate, and it's cursed the New York Giants. So this is a powerful drop with a real history to it that I think maybe we're underrating a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, next time you talk about how much you like to use your erection, I suggest we shift over to the Boat Trip music. You like that versus John Gruden saying you got to get her shit going.
You like that? You like
mentally? That? I got John Gruden advancing here. He's gonna get his shit going mentally.
Yeah, I actually have that too. I have Gruden moving on, but I've seen people have had you like that as a winning drop in the Bytes bracket competition. That's why it's so crazy, right?
I think we are unfairly judging this drop for for the source. I think we're judging the source, and we just loathe Kirk Cousins so much. I just have a hard time letting him beat John Gruden, because on the pantheon of characters, John Gruden is quickly approaching John Madden, and I don't think anyone wants to admit it yet, but he is slowly turning into a Frank Caliendo caricature.
And it's really weird because he keeps hanging out with Frank Caliendo.
It's like he's smart enough to know he needs to get out ahead of this thing and just like lean in. We both have Baby Whale advancing against the database. Rest in peace, Colby. We're both very excited about that. It's a baby
fucking wheel, man.
But does Colby actually do anything to try and? Because no one's. I think Boston Capper will be campaigning for Baby Whale. There's going to be some people out there.
Can I be honest? I'm a little disappointed in Colby's interest in the Bytes Bracket situation here.
Wow.
I don't think I was thinking I was excited to ask him to be part of the committee next year. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Joe Buck region.
He's too good for us now, Ryan.
Disgusting act, over nerd. As you pointed out, this one could be close. The spread projected to be a little tighter.
I think actually this is going to be. How's this for a prediction, Ryan? I'm going to say.
That is a disgusting act.
I think it may even be a bigger blowout than Shinebox Masters.
Okay.
In the Joe Buck region.
This is a pretty big blowout right now. How's the slot versus I want a dick rubbed on me tonight? I've selected myself to advance here, Sean. How do you feel about this? Am I taking down Lenny Dykstra?
No. Everyone loves Lenny. Lenny's an all-timer, Ryan. No offense.
The slot. How's the slot?
I want a dick rubbed on me tonight.
They're both good. I think this is going to be like a 55-45, but I got to give it up to Lenny Dykstra.
Okay. Next up, we got me again in
what the fuck
versus Shakira.
Shakira.
Breaking news. Upset alert. Shakira takes me down.
Yeah, I think you could be in trouble, Ryan. As much as I'm a fan of the fact the committee did you no favors stacking you in the loaded Joe Buck region, all three of your sound drops.
If trouble is me just having that happen to me in perpetuity for the rest of my existence, okay. Shakira can make that tongue gesture and sound combination in my face all day. That's fine. Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast, Sean. Taking on the Lock
Thank you
Dog
for
Tees.
participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
And we tweeted out the origin of the Lock Dog Tees, where you're actually coming up with on the fly your song for
the level of genius that happens on this show on a nightly basis with literally when I say no prep work, I mean no prep work. There was no plans for me to sing a beautiful rendition of Marilyn Monroe singing "Happy Birthday to JFK."
Ryan. That was not in the script.
And I want to reflect on this quadrant of the bracket because this is a loaded section. You're talking about a Shakira 13 seed and a Lock Dog Tees. Would that be a 12 seed?
I think so. Yeah, Jesus. I think that's the 12-5. Before you finish up previewing the number, and we should be throwing out some of these spreads, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's just so much information.
I'll do a little ad read here with the Girls Gone Wild, baby. And you're gonna go wild over at Monkey Knife Fights. I think it's an homage to The Simpsons, where they're out on the ocean watching monkeys fight with knives, which is very entertaining. Almost as entertaining as actually playing daily fantasy sports over at Monkey Knife Fight. It's pretty cool. It's a new kind of a DFS player. If you're unfamiliar with it, we actually have some write-ups on kind of some picks and stuff. Here we go. Our buddy Chris Giordani did NBA player picks for Monkey Knife Fight today, taping it on a Monday. It's a lot of like more or less like Ish Smith, Wizards point guard. Will he have more or less than 26.5 fantasy points? Chris Middleton of the Bucks, more or less 40.5 fantasy points. And he said Chris Middleton more 40.5 fantasy points. Ish Smith less than 26.5 fantasy points. Again, it's pretty easy. It's pretty fun, super simple. And the best part, Use the promo code SGP. Get a 100% match up to $100. That is Monkey Knife Fight.
So coming back to those spreads with that loaded 413 with me going on Shakira 14% favorite.
Wow. Even, no
and
respect.
And
Ryan.
then we come back with the thank you for participating with the sports gambling podcast -4% against the Lock Dog Tees. This again, Sean, the committee stumbled in some excellently perfect 12 and 13 seeds here, both very, very live dogs. I'm less confident
yet. We'll retweet this again. The Will Mormon first round odds and stuff that he did, and he's on the same page of a lot of these. The spreads and everything, and it's
oh my god versus San Diego Superchargers. Oh my god, is a 16%?
San Diego Superchargers charge.
16% favorite. Sean, I gotta be honest. I don't want to give away my bracket, but they're making a deep run.
And maybe it's just my personal love affair for Decker, but I had San Diego Superchargers moving on. But I realized I may have made a mistake because when I tweeted out the video of the kid with the wand and seeing his mind be blown,
the voice almost doesn't match the human.
No,
you know?
and when you see the video, it adds such another level comedically. It's really unfortunate. I think I dug Decker's grave. I should have saved the video for after the Bytes Bracket tournament, but now that it was out there and seeing the traction it got online, there's just no hope for him.
Well, let me ask you this: which one of these matchups? Only a couple more to cover. Actually, let's just finish them up real quick. Sam Bradford. Oh, I'm sorry. DMX Dog Bark versus the X-File theme. Unfortunately, DMX I think moves on fairly easily here.
Yep, that's not going to.
The committee maybe has some regrets about how high they rated the X-Files theme.
I mean, Will has it. DMX Dog Bark is only a 22% favorite.
I think
he has it 61-39, so he probably has a little closer than I think. I think DMX Dog Bark runs away with this.
Feels like
much
it does.
like probably DMX's dogs that probably ran away.
Sam Bradford is not a franchise quarterback going
not a
up
franchise
against
drop.
Degens only, which I don't think we realized it at the time, but what a murderer's row.
There is a community rallying around Degens only. Again, a number of people, I've seen a couple of the brackets. They have Degens only going all the way. They have it as a 44% favorite over Sam Bradford, which again, that is a situation Sam Bradford's certainly been familiar with. But I think maybe there'll be a couple diehard greenheads out there that will throw me a bone by tossing in the Sam Bradford vote. But it could be an avalanche. I think we're looking at similar results to this first matchup of Shinebox and Masters theme music, unfortunately, because Sam Bradford was a Hall of Fame drop. It was a top tier drop, and then Degens only just within the past 4 months. I should email the guy who created this, because he probably has no idea the enthusiasm around his mispronunciation. Oh man.
#Degens only.
I'm so glad the audience is on board, because this is personally one of my favorites. And I had Degens only going over myself in Sam Bradford. So no shock there, Ryan.
Last one, Long Cox. I have
Long
of course
Cox
advancing over Hubie Brown, talking about jerking off the defender. I mean, Sean, I'm excited for all of these matchups. I now, it just dawned on me I should track the covering of the spread. We need to have ATS metrics on the Bytes bracket.
Oh God.
I'm excited every day, weekends and holidays, Sean.
Yeah,
every day. Okay.
So I got to stay tuned at Gambling Podcasts, because it seems like one day is enough for people to get their votes in. And also, it's just super confusing to have like 4 different poll questions going on at the same time. So, yeah, stay tuned. We'll be tweeting out the next matchup.
So every day at like what? Noon?
I'm not,
11 a.m.
You got to stay tuned, Ryan. Okay. Because
how can we stay tuned? How does the listener stay tuned?
Well, you go to Twitter, you subscribe.
Okay.
Hit at Gambling Podcast. You can also follow this the SGP Network on Twitter as well. Make sure you check that out. Make sure you go to iTunes, Sports Gambling Podcast, Apple, Sports Gambling Podcast, wherever great podcasts are sold. Drop us a review, rate, review, and subscribe. Unfortunately, we got one negative. Ryan,
what?
Yeah, 3 out of 5 stars. Love the he loved the podcast, but he had an issue with the MyBookie promo code.
Oh, here we go.
Hit us up at Gambling Podcast, Toddzilla. We'll get you taken care of. So again, thank you guys for all this is a great one, Ryan.
Let's
from
hear it.
MM609. What I look forward to every week to start off. These guys are just flat out entertaining. Sounds like something Gruden or Madden would say. I sometimes can't control myself from laughing while either walking in a parking lot to working out in the gym, listening to an episode on why Juan should just not be working in customer service.
Yep.
Juan probably has no idea how often he's mentioned on this podcast. Besides that, they provide not just their reasoning behind their picks, but add insight to things you normally wouldn't think of. Like why Demi Lovato won't last more than 2 minutes. Thanks, Ryan. They bring a great variety of different minds to give diversity as well. Keep me hooked on their podcasts. Thanks, guys, so much for what you do. And unlike Soy Boy, this Giants fan is rooting for those New York Guardians. Hashtag Degens only.
Hashtag Degens only.
Tough week for the Guardians.
I just can't wait for our next XFL show.
MM609 exclamation point. Hit us up. Podcast at sportsgamblingpodcast.com. We will get you taken care of with some sweet merch.
I do enjoy how he gave me the shout out for that. Just apps. I mean, it's not often you get a 2-to-1 stone cold lock.
Well, I mean, he could have thrown my Patrick Mahomes first touchdown at 15-1, but whatever. It's a team thing, Ryan.
It is,
and I'm not here to
you.
brag just about myself.
Thank you
Sure
for
you are.
participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
There's no I in team, but there is in participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. As always, and for the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
Let's do it, Sean.
Kramer, let it ride.